Easter Sunday represents the resurrection of Christ. Christ was a messenger who walked on earth and spoke very loudly, profoundly, vociferously against the system. A system which was very oppressive during Christ's time on earth. A system which eventually executed Christ. The system which now embrace Christ and use Christ as its patron for the system's order of morality. Now, I'm not lighting fire on the system. I'm just appearing here on the day that we celebrate the resurrection to say that it is all well and good to celebrate and to understand, but it's even better when we understand that which we celebrate. And yes, Team Unity Dominica joined with the faithfuls in celebrating Christ's resurrection. We have no issues joining hands with our religious brothers and sisters. In fact, fellow founders of our movement are staunch followers of the faith, Roman Catholic faith. And I take the liberty to say a very special Easter Sunday to all the founders, including founder Erwin Emmanuel, who in the middle of the Lenten season, I reached out to him because he was having a little family moment and he was happy. We spoke. And then he said, you know me, I take my Lent serious, you know. And that was my cue to know that I should not call him again. That was about 30 something days ago. So I will call Erwin probably tonight or let's say tomorrow morning, God willing, Monday morning, to have like a confab. Because when it comes to people's religiosity, their spiritual belief, I respect that. And I know my brother is highly spiritual. In fact, I had mandated that he post his religious quotes on our business chat every day. I realize it is not as regular, Mr. Irwin. So make them more regular. We need those early morning prayers to guide our operations. And do not just share it on our chat, share it on all chats you can, because you are a man who understands spirituality, Irwin, and God's goodness to man. And I know so because I know you for a long time. Are you a priest? No. Do you want to be a priest? I don't think so. But I respect you as a brother who is wise and who give wise counsel. Almost 99.999% of the time that I've spoken to you, your counsel have been wise. We may differ every now and then, but your counsel is always wise. So as we celebrate the risen Lord today with the faithfuls, I felt that I wanted to give a speech and I got permission to so do. And my speech today is titled Easter Sunday Redemption. Or for those of you who are going to make reference to that speech, you will call it the Easter Sunday Redemption Speech, presented by Alex Bruno on Team Unity's Facebook page on Sunday, April 9, 2023. Fellow Dominicans, friends of progress and unity, I greet you in the name of the omnipotent force that guides the directions of individuals here on earth, in whose name many have come to try to lead the people, including Christ, the person whose life, whose resurrection is being celebrated today. This is the spirit of which I greet you, not claiming that I am a messenger sent by the Messiah, but claiming that we as a team can do better if and when we learn to work together. So this speech is so titled because it is being delivered on Easter Sunday, and it is also, to me, a continuation of redemption. Redemption is not a single act. You do not redeem yourself in one act. Redemption happens every day and with every moment, especially when there is need for there to be attention placed on particular activities in one's life. So as long as one is alive, there is time and need for reflection, introspection, and redemption. And today, I would like to say a few things as I have observed them in the political sphere and explain why I am at this point where I am today as a co-founder of Team Unity Dominica and someone who holds a title in the effort at uniting our people around one common cause, that of progress and good for all, or for the majority. It is necessary that in the process of redemption that we look at the steps which had been taken to get one into a particular area. And as someone who believes that I am a messenger, an educator, a communicator, it is always necessary that there be clarity in and with everything that I have done and will continue to do. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, yours truly has never had, still does not have, and do not plan to have any desire to become elected into office, to be a government official. My ambition is to work with like-minded individuals to seek progress and unity for and in the interest of the majority of people in our country. Because right now, the majority has not been doing well, and the prognosis moving forward does not suggest that our people will do well if the status quo persists. And speaking about the status quo, ladies and gentlemen, I have been a status quo person for all of my life, all of my 50 years on earth. And I think if I had not 2 years ago tried to make a difference, take a different path, I think the status quo would continue directing my life on both sides, the majority side or the minority side. And yes, there is a status quo minority politically in Dominica, and there is a status quo majority. And both status quo have their own agendas that they work around. Ladies and gentlemen, on Redemption Sunday, I would like to state again as an individual that I, on many occasions, almost every occasion, I've asked that those who control the status quo, the very stale and stagnant political affair, that we find ways, especially in the opposition, for us to work together. In fact, I said we should not be seen as the opposition. We should be seen as the progressive minority, where we bring all energies and all sides together. I have said so repeatedly on many occasions. And to my greatest dismay, those suggestions were just thrown out in the interest of promoting one single failing agenda. So after much years, and particularly following a time when I was so close to see what was so wrong, I felt I had to do different. Yes, to unite, you bring people together, but if you cannot bring people together where you are, because where you are is controlled by others, you move out from where you are, try to create a new platform and try to bring people together. And I did so. But when we did so some time ago, the same kind of people, the same mentality put their hand up. And that thing that was wrongly built collapsed and failed. And I say, thank you, Jesus, that it did fail. Because out of failure comes success. And in hindsight, in retrospect, when I look back and think of the many travails that we had in the early stages, I just say, thank God that the Lord works in mysterious ways, wonders to perform. Come again, pick up your cross and follow me. And we did again when I was called. I did not decide to do this again. Members and friends and community comrades called and said, brother, you don't give up. My grandmother used to say, cannot ki kule pa kafeleza panavije. Not because one boat sink, you're not going to sail again. Get up and let's do something for Dominica because people are giving up. People are leaving in droves. I know many Dominicans who have left our country and threaten never to return. I know Dominicans who want to come back now to set up shop and who are saying that I cannot come back with what is happening. That is why I decided to listen to those who told me, let us do it again. And I did it again, not for me, not to put me in office, to hopefully try to use a united message to bring sides together. But there are times, ladies and gentlemen, where I needed to respond to accusations and untruths. And some may say that I targeted them in my response. But sometimes in the rough and tumble of politics, you have to do something that is necessary to shake yourself off from the old baggage and frames that we're trying to place on you. So yes, I am guilty of defending myself. I've even alienated one or two people that I know of, and I've lost a significant friend in the process. But I cannot just stand by and watch people try to say things which are not true. So I had to stand up on a few occasions, maybe two occasions. And I had to say what was necessary. So if you were in the receiving end of my declarations, and I'm sorry, but come on, guys, I had to respond. So today, on my redemption speech, I'm still saying to you that it's not personal. You probably were personal with me, but I was not personal with you trying to clean and defend. And I certainly did defend because right now the grounds are very favorable. The grounds continue to be favorable for the work that I have done in Dominica all my life and that I'll continue to do because we cannot just sit back and let one group just control Dominica for the rest of our natural lives. This group came into the ascendancy half my life ago. Half of my life and more now where I've seen one group. Come on, guys. Why shouldn't I fight to try to have something different? So I stand here on the strength and with the authority of Team Unity Dominica to say that we can do this if we unite. If we work it out together. One message. A united message, not a united party. Because we are not a party in the sense of a party is a party. We're a platform. Yes, we are a group of individuals with an interest to form governments to influence policies. And we believe until and unless we unite around a serious message, guided by a strategy, with the kind of logistics to push that strategy and to build the capacity to get people to buy into the idea, for us to understand once and for all that what are we really fighting for. A dear friend of mine, whose name I will not mention at this point in time, remarked to me that he was setting up a political party again in Dominica at this time. And I said, no, the last party which was formed was not necessary. It failed, and God knows why. So if you create another one, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Let us work with a message. At least we in Team Unity Dominica, we have an organization, we have a platform. Yes, you can call it a party. But it is open to all and sundry to look to see what can be fixed about it and work with the plan and program. You might just find that this thing is already ready to go. Why can't brothers and sisters find the need to work it all together? I hear Blessings presented a message the other day about the need for understanding the battle that we're in and calling for unity. And I could send my speech that I did 2 years ago to Blessings. Incidentally, he castigated me then, but now he's saying exactly what I said then, as he's saying now. Sometimes I even wonder whether people forget. And Blessing is right. I heard a voice clip where he is right. Why can't Brother Joshua Francis and Brother Thompson Fontaine and Brother Lennox Linton and Brother Alex Bruno and Brother Hector Spags, Hector John, and all the brothers who I once knew, why can't we just decide to do things together in the interest of our people? Why must there be pull and push and fight and bad blood and enmity? Who started it? Where did it come from? People may say it is you. That's why on this Redemption Sunday, I say, no, it is not me. Because I had been trying and pushing and fighting for it. And when all else fails, what do? Do you retreat as they ask you to retreat and stay away? And just do strategies and do what I tell you to do? Or do you try to find an audience to create it? Come on. God called us here to do the work that we were called here to do. So I decided to build peace and unity and togetherness. So let it be recorded once and for all. And I'm not the one who started the disunity in our politics. It started a long time ago. I am the one who is probably trying to spearhead it. When I went out about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, or less than a year ago, and I said that I rise, I knew what I was saying. If you listen to the gist of my speech again, I was saying that if no one wants to rise to the moment, I will rise. And then I delivered another speech at the opening at the luncheon of TUD, and I said that Dominica cannot wait. And it is with this in mind that I make this speech today on Redemption Sunday. That Dominica cannot wait. Dominica cannot wait on the people who believe that they must put their house in order before they try to help their neighbor. If my house is not in order and I see my neighbor's house is burning, what do I do? Say, I'm sorry, neighbor, I'll get to you next. I'm going to make sure my house will not burn. But the neighbor house is on fire already. So you have to throw a bucket of water. That's what we are saying. We have personal issues. We have to fend for our family, take care of our needs, feed our children, send our children to school, pay our loans. Others have to do it too, and they even drowning. So what you going to do? Wait until to go to help them after you finish? They can't wait. If we wait for too much longer in Dominica, Dominica will be another Haiti, another Venezuela, another Nicaragua, another Syria. Dominica can be a failed state, or an authoritarian-led failed state. It's even worse. And most failed states are led by authoritative dictators anyway. But that can befall us. It can happen. And today, on the Easter Sunday Redemption speech, I ask us to let us rethink, guys, and recalibrate and find the common sense to think. No, and I'm not calling for unity. I'm just calling for a purpose for us to know and see what is necessary for most. I don't want to join with anybody else. That is not, I have never called for people to leave their parties and break down. No, because I know better that the Dominicans are not calling for that. Anyway, I won't say what Dominicans are calling for. But Dominicans are not calling for all the parties to come get there and sing in the same. No. Dominica is demanding what I believe Dominica is demanding, and I think that we will be on the right side of history in Team Unity Dominica of what we are doing. So, my friends in the red blue party, I'm not asking you to abandon your party. I'm just telling you to be conscious. Sometimes you have to listen beyond what your party is telling you, because Dominicans are saying differently. What you think the red party leaders are telling you and what you think the blue party leaders are telling you is totally different from what Dominicans have been saying. And Dominicans have been asking for a message of hope and togetherness, respect, confidence, and building. And that is why Team Unity Dominica is here. And that's why today I stand here to deliver this speech called the Redemption Speech on Easter Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, I have seen in the news or on social media lately that a particular political party is organizing itself. The party is going around and creating constituency branches. And I listen to the comments being made by people who are watching that and saying, oh, don't do what you have to do and sit down there. And I reflect. And I said to myself, fellow Dominicans, this party which is organizing itself is the same party which just won 19 seats out of 21, the most it has ever won. So why is it that they won 19 seats, but they are only now organizing? And I revisit the same understanding that I have of how people win. And I tell myself, but probably it's even easier than how I thought, because I know it's not that difficult to win an election in Dominica if we do what is right, because the majority of people want a difference. The people who support the cause would like a difference, but the difference is just not measuring up. I'm telling you, when Dominicans get what they think they want, Dominicans will go for it. But what Dominican want is not all the talk and sour belly aching. Dominicans know the problem. But for some reason or the other, I believe the Dominicans don't trust a particular group, a particular team, a particular message, a particular ethos. Dominicans want progress, and nothing that is not sounding like progress is not appealing to Dominicans. Dominicans would rather remain in a situation where they have to rely than to take a chance in a situation that they're not sure about. We know that. They know that. The other side know that. But like stubborn, which animals are stubborn again? I don't want to refer to people as animals. But as the most stubborn can get, we still dig our heel in and say, that is what you're going to get. You will not born there, you will not see your way. And probably your prognosis or diagnosis or projections will be the case. Because I have heard people say that nothing else will change in Dominica. I say, no, things will change in Dominica when we allow it to change. And on this redemption speech, I'm hoping that once and for all, people stop casting blames and casting aspersions and trying to score, trying to put people down. As I said on my program earlier today, that you don't build by dividing. And I'm saying so because some point fingers at me to say that I moved away from where I was to try to build. But if you cannot build where you are, why fight for the rest of another 30 years fighting? It's not possible, ladies and gentlemen. So as a youth, I went through the struggle, and I actually made it with the help of many, but with my determination and fight. And I look at myself based on the qualification for being a youth, and I agree that I'm not a youth anymore. I agree as well that I should not be fighting the cause for the youth. The youth should fight their cause. So I call on the 30 somethings and the 20s and the 18-year-olds to step up. Why is it, ladies and gentlemen, that people who were not organized as any part of a party group in any of the constituencies just emerge and win elections in Dominica? Because as I said before, as was observed, this group is only now organizing itself. How comes they were able to win without the organization, the structure that goes with it? Another group can come and win same way without the organizational structure. I mean, yes, you need it, but people will readily vote a new message, a new idea right now if it is to present itself. That's why Team Unity Dominica is here. And our message of unity and hope will resonate. It will resonate. Contrary to what one or two of you believe, it will resonate. Because you cannot hide a candle that's lit in the dark. How are you going to hide it? By turning it out? So when the candle goes out and it stops giving the light that it was giving, you think your light will shine? Because your light is already out already. When you turn somebody else's light out, how are we going to see our way? So this is why I decided to give the speech. Today is the Sunday Redemption speech. To first of all, look at myself in the mirror and know that I play and agree that I have played and pledge to continue to play a significant role in the growth of our country without any personal interests. Just because I think I'm in, and I'm not going to bail out on our people now because our people need all our resources to come together to fight for them. So I reach out to my brothers and sisters. I said, look, keep your party, keep your group, keep your religion, keep your faith, keep your belief. But let's work for the future. Most of us who are in this struggle have gone past the youth threshold, but yet we want to be doing policies for the youth. We can lead, we can guide, but we should open up to the young people, let them step in. Why is it that one group can get them to step in and another group cannot get them to step in? I'm not saying that the government should be all young people, all youth. No, there must be stewardship, experience. And I think our next prime minister should be someone of great and immense wealth. Wisdom, not wealth as in dollars and cents. Pepesh. Young people will get older and lead. But we have seen the failures of having a young person with charisma lead. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fooling ourselves if we think we have moved progress fast. Some have. But as a people, as a country, where have we gone? I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just asking us to show me real data that says that we as a people, we as a nation have grown. Where is it? Grown where? Where have we improved significantly, which would commensurate with having one team in office for a quarter century? In any part of the world where that team is working for democracy and all the resources that were available to that team, you will be walking on a street paved of gold. I'm not saying that things was not done. How does it compare to the people in our neighboring Caribbean countries? So I've heard the message of that, but I have heard very little of the message of working it together, of uniting our approaches, our efforts in our different groups to make it happen. TUD exists because of the lack of effort in trying to unite and harmonize around the message. Because politics calls for collaboration, for compromise, for negotiation, for tolerance. And if you fail to compromise, factions will emerge. If you compromise and try to answer and give and take, you build momentum and you build capacity. You need capacity building to win elections. So speaking at the problem and just sharing all those shameful posts about the failures of our country is not going to give us the answer that we need. So in Team Unity Dominica, we ask us to step up, step forward, put shoulder to the wheel. Let us have conversations, Dominica. I call on Palisot, my friend. I call on Blessings, my brother. I call on TUD, my family. I call on all the sisters. Paula, my country girl. I call on Lofty, the civic man. I ask us to let's talk with each other. Let us do away with this selfishness. And I call for this on this is the Sunday redemption speech. What is holding us back from talking with each other? I said that I was not going to answer it again. I'm not saying that we should do it. Probably I'm freeing myself from the baggage of and the pain of seeing the lack of it. Probably the answer is not even in our hands. Probably the answer is in the hands of the youth who will eventually take over and fix this thing. But let us not let the system brush us out. Let us work with it. Let us work with our young people. Because if we don't work with them, they will not work with us. And those of us who are so selfishly inclined will realize, but what happened to me there? Because a new group of people will take over this thing. And we must not be shy about it. Let's open the way for them. And let's be custodians of the integrity of our country, of our nation, of our state. Let's not frustrate the young people to get involved. Let's invite them to and have them design plans that will design a blueprint for the future. In a couple of Sundays from now, you will hear about Team Unity Dominica's plan for its first anniversary. And this will speak about the 10-year initiative, which I cannot speak too much about as yet because the council has not ratified the project. But there's a work in progress that my office have been developing. And this is, to me, where we need to be. Just remember that word or that phrase, the 10-year initiative. Coming soon from Team Unity Dominica. So as I end on this Easter Sunday redemption speech, I again present myself to you as someone who is not perfect, but someone who means well. And someone who is not guilty of one charge or two, that of creating something else to destroy something. Magwesa, there is nothing in my thinking, my belief that speaks to destruction. Quite to the contrary, I try to work in a more progressive and inclusive way by creating a different platform from which to narrate that need for unity. So if I am guilty of something, this is what I'm guilty of. And through Team Unity Dominica, we will continue to thrive and strive towards building a more united and complete nation. But those of us who believe that there should be a difference, I think some people call it change. We call it progress in Team Unity Dominica. If we agree in some way or the other that things should be different in Dominica, let us get serious. Because as individuals, as parties, it's never going to happen. So I end the speech today in love. I wish you a happy Easter Sunday. I hope that you and your family will find added joy and that whatever you decide to do will be blessed and sanctified by our Creator. I thank the team for allowing me to present the speech on their behalf. And I hope that those who were able to follow will at least find something that they could hold on to. And if nothing else is true, we are always better when we unite efforts, not groups necessarily, but efforts to work together. In fact, as I said before, Dominicans are not in this thing for groups. I think Dominica have moved past a few groups in this political system. And Dominicans will know when they see that thing that they will latch on to, because it's about our people's future. And our people will not trust their future in the hands of people that they do not think represent the good for all in their thinking of politics. I say no more, and I'm looking forward to engaging with the people either on social media or live on the ground in person. Probably the latter might happen sooner rather than later. Take care, guys. And again, on behalf of the team, I thank you for listening to our redemption speech. Until next week, Sunday.